Okay, hello, everyone. We are back with the Midwest F1 League Thursday edition, Division 1 edition, and a special one as well, as it is a long time in Midwest F1ite. His 100th race with us, which is just crazy to hear. But congratulations, Bacon. Impossible Bacon, that is, on your 100th race. We'll have him in for an interview afterwards and reminisce a little bit about the times that he's had in the league. So if there's any chats you'd like to ask, any questions from chat you'd like to ask Bacon after the race, be sure to put it in and I'll write it down. We can see what's going on with Impossible Bacon. Of course, we heard from him last week, but we'll hear from him again this week. There you go. On your screen there is the Division 1 Drivers' Championship points total so far. Race day leading the way. 3 wins in a row. Scornsey, Edwin, Hoxid. Matt Rosie Hoxid has actually had a couple of podiums in a row himself. So he finds himself up in 4th, doing a really solid job for the Alpine. And cannot forget about Aero Racing Design as well. Sitting himself in 6th place. Not too shabby. And with all those points being totaled up, that's where we see is the Alpines in 3rd, just behind Ferrari and McLaren, who are only separated by 3 points. Mercedes as well, not too far away from that trio there. Haas a little bit waits back, as it seems to be a 4-horse race so far. We'll see if any other teams can maybe pick it up and find some results later on into the season. But we are done our first quarter, really. We are technically over a quarter of the way through the season already. And you can see there, race day has podiumed in all 4 races to start this season. Scornsey only finding 2, Hoxid finding 3, Rosie, Lusky, and Edwin all picking up a podium there. But a fun little set of tracks to come. We've got Hungary today, which is preferred by some. Racing-wise can be at times a little droll, but we'll see what it can produce this evening. Azerbaijan next week, which is my favorite track. Then Miami, Brazil, Imola, and Monaco. And that is a fun group of races to come. The weather this evening we see for qualifying, clear, overcast, and the race, overcast, heavy rain, overcast. Wowee. So this is going to be a very, very interesting one. I repeat once again, qualifying clear to overcast race, overcast, heavy rain, overcast. So it'll be an interesting one. Looking back to last week's results is race day. Coming in first, as said before, Scornsey podium, Hoxid podium, Edwin just missing out after sustaining some early damage, but still getting a 4th place in the end. Edging out Matt Rosie. Mother Ellie in chat. Good to see you, lady. Matt Rosie in 5th, Palmer in 6th, Rob, Lanzi, Arrow, and Sharia rounding out the top 10. And Houdini actually wasn't there. That was Travis Scott's, I believe it was. But we'll look down to the other divisions. Division 2, Sayains leads still, followed by Elma Jacko, Electric Blade, Bobbert Yates, Josh Senior 5, Josh SR5, however you'd like to say that. Looking at the bottom, though, those Mercs are really not putting in any sort of headway, I guess. I forgot who you fan in Hockey Crash. I'm an Oilers fan. Edmonton Oilers. Been one ever since I was a wee lad. Division 2 Constructors Championship, where Nikki comes back with 22 months worth of prime. God damn, almost 2 years. Unreal. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for your presence as well in the league. It's always appreciated. AlphaTauri, Ferrari. 3 points separate those two teams, similar to what we see in Division 1. But very tight there. And you know what? Screw it. We're going to go down to Division 3 next week, so let's take a peek at our Drivers' Championship here as well. Knuckles leading us. I can't see that name. Mediati 91 in second, the Johnny Damon in third, and Noganator, Murph and Sally, and Soy Loco. I think 3 Canadians in a row. Can't remember if yet Ray has won as well. I don't think so. But there you go. All in the fight for promotion to Division 2 next season. Williams there, different story in Division 3 with a fairly large gap in the constructors' world, with Williams over an 120-point gap on Aston Martin. So things need to happen. Alpine haven't even picked up 120 points. Come to think of it, Mercedes Division 2 haven't even picked up 120 points. So just shows the magnitude of the gap that's sitting there. So well done, you Williams boys there. Who's on the Williams, actually? Let's take a peek. Oh, it's Knuckles and Noganator. So yeah, first and fourth in the Drivers' Championship will do that. And only one other team has 2 drivers in the top 10, and they're at 6th and 10th. So yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. But yeah, I digress. We continue on. Let's take a peek at the track, the Hungaroring. And yes, nice camera. Hello, everyone. Go them. Yes, I appreciate that, Spaceman. I agree. Go them as well. I don't know why. I'm feeling drowsy today, but it's okay. I've got myself a nice Canada Dry ginger ale. And if this isn't the first time you've tuned into the stream, then you know that I like me a nice ginger ale. They're delicious, man. I take a ginger ale over a Coca-Cola any day of the week. Any day. Like, I don't even like saying that, like, controversially for, like, views and likes and whatnot. I'm just saying that for, like, pure personal facts. This is what I prefer, is a proper ginger ale. Root beer, still my number one. The brand of root beer. Good question, no one, since no one asked that. I didn't like Barks when I was a kid. It was a little too heavy on flavor for me, but I've since come around to it a little bit. A&W root beer is always good. Mug is okay. There's quite a bit of delicious root beers. Dr. Pepper Cherry slaps hard as well. Claps my cheeks, if you will. But we continue on to qualifying with Cake Thomas, long-time Midwest F1ite. Swinging around to the final turn and coming down the pit lane, entering into turn 1 in a beautiful day here so far in Budapest. I believe it's in the Hungaroring. And really hitting the gears hard there is Cake. We'll wait until Bacon comes around for his hot lap and we'll follow that one through. But still on board with Cake through the blind left turn of turn 4. Seems like there'd be more turns by now, but it just isn't the way that it goes. Already halfway through Sector 2 into the chicane. Some bite a little bit more curb, but you as well can take too much curb. This is where you really want to get it done here in qualifying, especially with the wet weather to come and no DRS for presumably a long period of time during that race. Cake is looking fairly clean, though, swinging around the final turn. Gets his toes a little bit on that curb there, and that can get you. Extends the line nicely, doesn't hug it, and comes up and over the line with a 17.635, and we'll see if that is dispatched quickly. Let's see, is it Nikki? It is Nikki. I think it's actually Bacon behind, but yes. On board with Nikki as he finishes up his final run. And then we jump on board with Bacon on his first time going through. And Ray back with the prime. Thank you. Appreciate that. But enough of you, Ray. I appreciate that very much. But this is Impossible Bacon's evening as it stands right now. Swinging through turn 3, putting the pedal to the floor up that blind left-hander of turn 4. Lancy taking fastest lap by nearly a full second. Callie Robb 3/10 off the pace into the chicane. goes Bacon. I wonder if the nerves are there for Bacon with it being his 100th. Very, very interesting. I'd like to ask him this question afterwards. Edwin says, enough of that. We are going into the 15s now, everybody. If you cannot handle it, then you'll be behind. And it looks like quite a few drivers so far are behind right now. Will Impossible Bacon, teammate of Edwin, be behind? Soon to be answered is this question as he flies up and over the line. And yes, he will be a proper second off of his teammate's pace, but placing his car into a nice little 4th place. Scornsey as well, quite a bit off the pace, just outdone by his teammate Matt Rosie. VTech now is probably going to just not want to improve on his time all too much, or will he want to with it being in the wet? But I mean, it can also be death zone if you find yourself a little bit farther up the pack. Got Palmer, Shelley, race day. Oh my God. And race day splits the Ferraris into 3rd. Now we got Palmer looking to put his first time up on the board. Apexing that corner a little bit different, and 5th place is where he will go. Now the Turtle is into the pit and actually races the Ferrari of Matt Rosie, I think it was. Wow, a little bit of BM there maybe from the Turtle. Not wanting to be stuck behind. Callie Robb going on his 3rd lap on the softs. Must have loaded up quite a bit of fuel for qualifying to be doing such a thing. Nicky is lining up his. So we continue with Callie Robb. It seems like every time they enter Sector 3, it takes away the hot lap. So it makes it look like a bunch of people are out laps, sorry. It makes it look like a bunch of people are on hot laps when they're actually just only on outs. This I'm just picking up here as the game is almost over. But all right. Callie Robb. Is he going to come into the pit? No. Yeah, I bet he's going to come in now. He's actually just going to say, screw it. I'm just going to keep driving this goddamn car. Continuing to put in laps is Callie Robb. Not content with what these tires have produced. Knows that there is more. But we'll see him once again. And now riding on board with Nicky. Can Edwin's time be touched? 3/10 separates him and Matt Rosie. 4/10, pretty much. Same with race day, and 5/10 back to Scornsey. Nicky vaults himself up into 7th. You love to see it. Edwin now starting one. Oh my God, my back is shot right now. Oh my God. Scavney goes 7th. Cake looking to improve. He goes 10th. Is that Matt Rosie? Matt Rosie's starting his. Dusty, no, Houdini, Callie. Is that Kelly again? No, that's Shelly who's starting one. In front of him is Lancey who's starting one. So we'll get up back with Callie. And he's actually just went around track to line up another one. So he's just putting in laps here. Race Day lining one up. Scornsey lining one up. Nikki Vitek lining one up. Edwin invalidated on his. Not sure where he's sitting in comparison. Houdini far off of his pace? Yeah, he's chalked that. So we're on board with his teammate there, Dusty Lusky. Dusty Lusky in 9th place. And now over to Rosie. He has shaved some time off. Handles the final turn quite nicely and maxed out that deployment and goes fastest, shaving off a half a second. That is a good chunk of time taken. Shelly now goes 13th, just behind his teammate. Gunner starting one. Lancey finishing and staying in 6th. Now it's Race Day, quickly followed by Scornsey. Race Day stays 3rd. Scornsey hasn't improved much and will not in the end here. Bacon once again lining up another hot lap. We'll watch him through Sector 1 here. Ooh, nice little panoramic view we get here. Navigating turn 1 with ease. Continuing on through 2 and 3. Finishing up the first sector. Up on his time. That will vault him up quite a few positions. So he wants to keep this going. I see Gunner is about to put in his first initial lap. Aero Racing still without one as well. Here we go. Gunner around the final turn in that nice looking Alfa Romeo. Changed now to the black, so we only have a few more races left of the white livery here. Got Palmer starting one, sorry. Scornsey is in. Shelly is in as well. So we're back on with Bacon here. And it looks like he abandoned it as well as he abandoned his wing. Maybe a souvenir for his 100th race. Might have to talk to Toto to potentially get that Brock back to the garage. And have that hung above his bed. Got Palmer's got 5th. Looking to try and improve. We'll get a better reading after the completion of Sector 2. One more turn until we're there. Shelly the Turtle closes that lap up. And Palmer needing to shave off a little bit more time here in Sector 3 to try and get 4th place. Just at the tips of his grasp. And we'll see, looking for a good exit. Puts the power down and will just get it. 8 thousandths of a second, pushing Scornsey back to 5th. VTEC out for a Sunday stroll with low gas. And quickly, Race Day comes back out onto the track. Matt Rosie still leading the session with Edwin's initial lap in 2nd. But we'll have to see if he has anything left in the tank. And he's swinging around for his final hot lap here. I mean, he could bail out and come back in and probably get around it again, but we'll see how this one goes. Around turn 1 is how we start most tracks, if not all tracks. Quickly followed by turn 2 and then 3. That is one thing that you can guarantee every time that you watch racing. Nice turn 4. Living on the edge of turn 5, quite literally, as you can just tap that curb and it'll just spit you out. But Edwin is just putting in a blinder right now. And we'll see where he stands in his sector 2 split. Need to take off 2 tenths and change. Has only done one of those two. And he needs to hope that maybe he made a mistake in sector 3 that he's able to mitigate here. Coming around the final turns. And he's in behind his teammate. Maybe giving him a little bit of dirty air, or is it a little bit of a toe? And I'm not sure if maybe his teammate, that being Bacon, got in his way, or must have gotten in his way, because he lost a tenth in the end. And a lack of communication there between the two Mercs, and that will still result in Edwin sitting in second place. Is Matt Rosie starting one? Lancey, is that Sharia maybe? Sharia starting one. Houdini finishing. Looking to jump that car way up there, and does improve on quite a bit of time, but will not be it. Scornsey to start. Lancey, no. Aero Racing finally starting his first go. I think that's Race Day is next to finish up. Or no, what? Where'd that time go? But he is out of battery, so that will surely be it for him. Kylie Robb starting his final. Nicky still sits 7th. Bacon is invalid, puts in another attempt. That is Cake into the pit. Scavney to start once more. Dusty Lusky is finishing. I think Edwin's going to be able to get around for one more attempt. There we go, Dusty in 8th. Edwin will be able to reach the line. Is that Sharia? Yes, it is. Sharia's up on his time. But sorry, Sharia, I don't want to miss it. We got to jump on board with Matt Rosie, who's invalid. And then Scornsey trying to pull up a couple positions at the death. Will improve, but not on, or will get Palmer, and that's it. Race Day and Palmer into the pit. Where am I going here? Callie Robb. Callie launches all the way up into 6th place. A massive improvement. Bacon now trying to get into the top 10 here. Just misses out. Scavney invalid. Nicky into the pit. Gunner into the pit. Dusty will surely be done, or is he still pushing? No, he's done. And I think Edwin has chalked his time up as well, and that will be it for qualifying. Matt Rosie will take the extra point. Edwin will start alongside him. Race Day and Scornsey. Palmer and Callie Robb. Aero Racing with Lancey. Nicky in the top 10 beside Dusty Lusky. Scavney with not former teammate maybe? I mean, God, they might have teamed at one point. So many years now. Cake Thomas and Shreya VTech with Shelly, Gunner, and Houdini Hawksid joining the session late. We'll start at the back of the pack. Okay. All right. Not too bad. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Okay, so I mean, how mad can you be with that you're Edwin right now? I mean, your teammate must have sewered you to a point there. Ray stayed in Scornsey, though, as stated. Quite a bit of Americans. One Dutch, a Nicky, and a Dusty Lusky. And Sharia is from Saudi. Cake representing the Hungary. Gunner, Romania. Hawksid, Mexico. He is Mexico here. Office. Andrew Bernard. That's it. The Nard Dog. He's the Nard Dog. That's his Nicky D name. Andrew, you're gayer than Oscar. That's so good. Boom, roasted. Stanley, your heart sucks. Boom, roasted. You got the T-pose mechanics. Oh, goodness. Goodness me. Oh. The hilarity. What? There's 3 mechanics there. So fix your goddamn game, EA. Oh my. EA Codemasters, pick your poison. Just Cake Thomas. Gotta love the Hungary flag there. Edwin's representing the world. Tout le monde, if you're French. Ah, yes, I'm a little bit bilingual. Thank you very much. You know, I'm just, I'm not, kind of not at all, really. It used to be. Lost it. About 10 years ago, I could say I was bilingual. Not anymore. Should have kept it. I could have watched TV in French. Not anymore. There we go. The countdown starts. I'm bilingual. What do you speak, Mother Ellie? I'm assuming Spanish. I actually want to learn Spanish. Norwegian? The fuck? Norwegian? How many countries? Areas where Norwegian is spoken, including North Dakota, where 0.4% of the population speaks Norwegian. Western Wisconsin, under 0.1% of the population. Minnesota, 0.1%. of the population speak Norwegian. Oh my God. How do you even find those numbers? Data US Census 2000. From Norwich. Ah, yes. The land of Norwich. Are you You're Norwegian, Mother Ellie? Or are you of the 1% from North Dakota? It is already raining here. Let's see these tires. Everyone is on the slicks. And there's rain coming down. Norway, actually. My dad is Norwegian. Oh, well, I'll be damned. Funny. You could update that census. What state are you in? You could be 0.1% or under 0.1% in that state. Okay, the rain has just disappeared. That score is teaching you Spanish. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I want to learn Spanish. I want to start learning it. But there you go. We're underway here. Matt Rosie with a good start. Edwin still holding on to second. Scornsey trying to get third place from Raystay, and it looks like he's got it done. And Raystay not under too much pressure there from Callie Robb. Quite a few positions at the back of the pack there. And actually, Callie sees a little bit of this inside door open, and he's going to try and get along Raystay, and Raystay is going to take the long way around track and settle his car down quite nicely to be able to hold on to that. Aero Racing design on Lancey in the back of your screen there as they go wheel to wheel through the blind left-hander. And we'll continue on with this little battle here between the Alpine and the Williams. And will he come back? And the rain is already coming down here. How long are these slicks going to stay on these cars for? Edwin actually threw on mediums, maybe thinking that it would go a little bit longer. The predicted pit stop strategy is just nothing. There's no tire. I mean, it showed some red and hards, but I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. Aero Racing up on the curb to try and get Lancey there. But Lancey doing a good job in defense. And people are already diving into the pits here. Edwin, Raystay, Scornsey, and Rosie stay out. So potential double stack here for the Ferrari. But the Ferraris go 1-2, and the rain is coming out. Not quite heavily, but it is coming down. You can see the drips onto the track, and slowly the puddles start to form. And we had 6 drivers rush in for the inters. And Scornsey is going to get smacked with a double stack for the Ferraris here as this rain is really coming down early on. It's supposed to be overcast to start, but that since got washed away quite quickly. Oh, and Aero Racing struggling. And we'll see that gap from Edwin to Sharia quickly closing down here. Yeah, but these Ferraris are still doing pretty good. Gap to the leader here. Edwin's at 19.5 seconds. And slowly chopping at that. Yes, the rain is all over the track now. Bacon finding a little bit of troubles there, spinning off. And a very short pit lane it is here in Hungary. And like I said, the double stack from the Ferraris. We'll see. So Scornsey currently in second. And how far away is Edwin going to get? Exiting now is Rosie. Edwin and Raystay both coming down the pit straight. And Raystay will just be able to get back ahead of Matt Rosie. Scornsey losing major positions now all the way back into 11th. That double stack was just deadly, and it really bit. And he's got a lot of work to do here. But his teammate now, Matt Rosie's on the hunt. We'll have one extra lap of tire. We'll see if that has any sort of difference. But yeah, that rain came down a lot quicker than I imagine the Ferrari team assumed. We'll look at the positions gained here. We'll go back to interval. And Shelly the Turtle has picked up 9 from that early pit stop. Matt Rosie did only drop 2 from that mistimed one. But the rain is in a very weird place right now. We get on board with Scornsy. We'll see if he's going to be able to get Lusky. But Hungary in the rain can be quite tough to overtake. Needs to rely on quite a bit of mistakes here. Make crash, not talk for 1 minute. You motherfucker. I'm going to watch hockey then. All right, there you go. Still on board with Scornsy as he tries to hunt back some positions. Shelly the Turtle into the pit and gets a 5-second penalty as well and retires from the session. Why would you? Wow, Ryan. Why don't you just grow some balls and actually join me in the booth here? Oh, Scornsy now getting very aggressive onto Lusky. Lusky did not offer up the space, though. Let's take a peek at Nikki. Nikki's getting very tight. And where'd these cars go? There they are. Jumps up into 13th place there. Houdini gets Cake Thomas as well, as it looks like Cake's struggling at the back. Matt Rosie losing positions. Or sorry, losing time. Quite a bit of time. He's already 4 seconds behind. Was not ready for this rain. Edwin looking quite strong, though. Now, this is a track where you will never really be put under any stress from battery. And once again, Scornsy putting pressure on Lusky. But it's just showing us how hard it is to get an overtake here in Hungary with the wet. And Cake Thomas is done as well. Crash not talk. God. Yeah, that was a fairly late move on the brakes there, but I think it was VTech. And Scorsese had to swerve to avoid, resulting in a couple positions lost. Quite unfortunate. Race day slowly gaining some time here on Edwin, but doesn't seem like Edwin is too under duress there. Dusty gets overtaken by Scorsese as he does pick up a position back. Hoxton, after a couple of podiums in a row, is way back in 12th place here. Maybe Hungary not the track for him. So Scorsese is being held up quite a bit here because VTech is losing a lot of time to Aero Racing. And Scorsese just cannot get an overtake. And VTech struggling as well. He just pesters as much as he can, but I mean, just the knowledge really that Scavney would have in this situation, knowing that only a mistake will really allow Scorsese through. He needs to be so much quicker than him to be able to get an overtake done just on pace alone, with how slow or how short these lengths are. Aero Racing was close to Lancy for a moment there, but that gap is opened right back up. And you can just see how much VTech is holding them up because he's already lost a full second to Aero Racing, and Dusty has already caught back up to the back of Scorsese. Ooh, Aero very close to Lancy here. The Alpine once again putting pressure on the Williams. Maybe a different camera angle there for Scorsese. Even Scavney is so tight on the back. of VTech. Lancey's into the pit. We'll get an eye on that. And it looked like VTech dives into the pit also. Are we putting on the full wets? Scornsey as well into the pit. And Scornsey actually has a quicker stop than VTech. So he gets the position picked up in the pit lane. Now let's take a view over at the leader intervals here. But wow. After lap 1, he was within a half a second of first place. 9 laps later, with no mistakes, is 46 seconds back. Those inters seem to be quicker right now. But Scornsey does have free track up ahead now. Race Day dives into the pit. Rosie stays out. Doesn't seem like the wets are the way to go quite yet. Yeah, it's still teetering. Hoxton stays out for another lap. And Scornsey will gain another position, now up into 9th, still with loads of free track ahead. Go over to Race Day here and see how he's doing on these wets. Actually, we'll go to Edwin and see how he's doing on the inters. Because this rain is really coming down hard now. And now Edwin is into the pit. Sharia pulling the first penalty. Edwin in and out. Will he be able to still hold on to first place? Race Day's coming down the pit straight. And he will just be able to hold on. The slightly earlier pit stop didn't seem to make any sort of difference in the end. Other than Scornsey picking up several positions just from having an open track up ahead now. He's on the hunt now to Palmer. Most positions gained stands with Hawksid, but no qualifying lap was set, so he's not valid for the hardest charger. Aero Racing, so very close onto the back of Lancey there. Slightly alternate line here from Racing. Didn't pan out at all, really. Oh, and here we go, Arrow Racing. Looking at a switchback. Lancey tries to cover it off, but now Arrow is just asking quite a few questions. But Lancey just still holds him off. And Arrow is using as much battery as he can and does not want to send it down into turn one. Arrow is really putting on just sustained pressure onto Lancey. Lancey's just defending very hard. Lusky ends up getting VTEC. And still Arrow stuck in behind. In the 77, 71 car. That's a good looking number. And maybe with this battling here, Gob Palmer has caught up to the back of this pack. Scornsy is trying to now close the gap. I can definitely use you, Sunday. Arrow so tight onto the back of Lancey every time we come around here. Braking very deep. Palmer's probably got a pretty good look on this now. Race day still just kind of holding around that second mark to Edwin. Still not even halfway through this race, so there's still quite a bit that can happen. Of course, lap times are far slower in the full wet, which make it seem why these laps don't go by as quick as they normally do. Ooh. Nice snap of oversteer from Arrow. V Shoots Green, aka Ryan Rods, are you actually here? Or do you only just chime in chat just to chirp and then peace? Whoa, look at this camera angle. That was cool. And still on the hunt is Aero Racing Design, just the constant pest of Lancy. Maybe, oh, and here we go. This might be it. Aero Racing now finally alongside Lancy. Oh, in contact with Aero, getting a little bit of oversteer. And Scornsey does get past him. Didn't get on that quick enough. And now Aero, after all that many laps of work, is now dropped into 8th. He still seems to have his car in full tack. But very tough battling there from Lancy. And I think the room was given, but Lancy was just battling very hard and gave just enough room and no more. And Aero went up on the curb and lost it. Still has positions and points to fight for, so we trudge on. We'll take a peek at the tires of everyone here, all along the wet still. And we'll see which drivers find the best timing to swaps back to the slicks, depending on if we get there. Still quite a bit of water on the track and quite a bit of rain coming down. Massive amounts of puddles just sitting all over the track. Here we go, but that time from Scornsey to Palmer is slowly being chipped away. Take a peek back up at the top here. Edwin and Race Day are both just hanging out. Edwin's not feeling the pressure of Race Day, and Race Day cannot quite put the pressure up yet. And Matt Rosie's actually slowly falling back. Oh, okay, as I say that, he picked up a little bit of time, but there you go, yeah. Oh, look at how beautiful that looks. Give me like a helicopter shot here. Come on, producer, give me a helicopter shot. Just something. As we see the chase for first place, Edwin leading still virtually from beginning of the race to this point now. There it is. There's a nice, not a helicopter, but you know, still a nice full turn view. Still could be a little bit better. Open up that shot a little bit more. Show us the nice landscape and all these umbrellas of all those who aren't under the overhang there. All still so vested into this race here in Hungary. All right, enough of that. What do we got? We got Scornsey still closing the gap now. 2 seconds back to Palmer now. And closing. I'm out of ginger ale. I'm out of ginger ale. Oh my god. What do I do? What do I do? Kelly Robb has actually caught Rosie here too. But big driver or constructor championship points at play here for Palmer and Scornsey. Lancey has allowed Scornsey back into this. And Scornsey, after having so many laps of free track to drive, is now stuck in behind Palmer and Lancey here. Yellow flag there in Sector 2. That seems to be Hoxid. He's picked himself back up. We'll see if we can get an angle at his wing here. Any damage? No, no damage. Now will Palmer start trying to put the pressure on Lancey. Lancey's been a very tough customer, as proven. Little mistake there from Scornsey, but everything's okay. Pure focus is needed here for this entire race, especially in the rain. Every corner can be your doing. A bit of survival at play, really. Yellow in Sector 1, and then that's Matt Rosie out. And a full safety car. Oh, rough stuff there. Matt Rosie into the barrier, right tire, gone. Wow. And that will vault everyone up a position. The last driver, Scornsey, needed to go out, really. But that does promote Callie Robb into a podium position, and that will squish things back up with this whole field. And that'll take quite some time. A couple of pit stops here. Race Day and Edwin going for the inters. Edwin actually holds the wets, and Race Day will actually get the position. So once again, the pit teams coming into play. Everyone's going over to the inters here. Arrow onto new set of wets. Everyone's just revving the piss out of that thing. So Lancey, Scavney, and VTEC all did not pit. mm. Scavney and VTEC now come into the pit. Lancey still stays out. Arrow actually comes into the pit once again. See. Still quite some time before we get caught up here. And while we have a moment, I guess we can maybe take a look on next week's track. In Baku, Azerbaijan, Baku City Circuit, as so famously called. Sitting with a whopping 20 corners. A whole load of them. I think the first sector has 4 corners. The third sector has 4 corners, and then there's 12 corners in the second sector, including that tough castle section, as you can see there, from turn 8 up into 10. That is where a lot of drivers can get did. So pure focus and determination is required every time through there. So we'll see if there's drivers that maybe lack that, if anything lacks skill to navigate through a tough area on track. So be sure to tune in next week, as we'll most likely be down in Division 3 to be hanging out there. But we're back at it. Pardon me. Oops. There we go. Back to green racing, and Edwin early on putting some major pressure here on race day. Around turn 2 has the outside line. Race day really trying to battle, but it was Edwin who quickly gets that position back. And we continue up the hill into that blind corner. Still holding on is Edwin. Scornsey gets the position on Palmer, I believe, as well. And now he's trying to chase down Cali Robb. A podium can surely be a possibility here once again for Scornsey after all that was done in this race. Impossible has worked himself back up into a top 10. Now trying to chase down VTEC. Hardest Charger as it stands right now is sitting with VTEC. Lancey is very close though. Really got to keep an eye on the weather as well as the track. Edwin so very importantly getting that overtake quite quickly. And now race day most likely have the faster car. But Edwin has the track position. Now Cali Robb on Lancey does get that maneuver done up into third place. Lancey's got to be careful. Maybe tapped the back of Cali Robb. And now he's under pressure here from Scornsey. Scornsey may not know. For a moment there, seemed like he might have been able to warrant himself alongside. The Cali Robb goes deep. And up and under goes Scornsey. And he will get that position. And sticks a car in between himself and got Palmer. But Lancey goes off there. And Palmer is able to get the position as well. Now Dusty Lusky looking to potentially get Lancey. Lancey struggling here. A little bit is Edwin. As race day is sticking his nose up the inside line. Edwin's trying to do all that he can to hold off race day after pulling off that initial restart overtake. But race day just has the advantage on the car, and Scornsey must have made some sort of mistake in the final turn. And now race day alongside Edwin tries to outbrake him in the inside line, and Edwin just does not have the tires. That mistake onto the wets has just made the difference, and Edwin needs this rain to stop right now. Lancey all the way back into 9th. These inters are just taking right over here. And Scornsey's lost a bit of his wing. All that hard work, and he's going to have to come into the pit and lose all those positions once again. And it looked like a brake board or a meter board was just destroyed there. And now Cali Robb will get Edwin here as well. But the rain stopped. But it seems like race day has virtually been gifted this win from the circumstances that's happened all around him. And now Edwin quickly losing time. Palmer as well trying to get an overtake. Edwin doing enough to hold him off. Some drivers into the pits. Scornsey once again throwing on some inters. Maybe being forced into it. Palmer looks like he's got a routine overtake there on Edwin, who's just struggling on these wets. And my God. Now, Arrow going crazy aggressive on VTech and a little bit of contact there. Bacon once again as well picks up a position. Most positions gained is now with VTech still, and some pit stops here and a major collision. What in the world happened there? Major, minor, I guess, but crazy stuff to say the least. Quite a few drivers actually stay out. Cali Robb goes for the softs. Now he's going to go on the hunt here. And this track looks fairly dry. DRS is actually enabled here. There you can see Cali Robb eating away at that gap quite a bit now. He needs to really chew things out though. And race day is into the pit. As is Palmer. We'll see if Palmer is affected at all from a double stack. Maybe not. Lusky's in. VTech stays out. He might be trying to go the full distance here. At this point, I mean, he has to. Cali Robb will go into second place. Race day throws on the mediums. Edwin as well on the mediums here, trying to chase Palmer for a position. And just some heartbreakers this race, really. Lancey on the hards, that cannot be his decision. Oh my goodness. I think VTech may have just been asking a little bit too much out of those inters. Cali Robb and VTech just, or sorry, Cali Robb and Race Day just eating at that gap to VTech. Cali Robb looking to get his first podium here in Midwest. And VTech actually just chalked it up and came into the pit. See how far down the order he drops. Sharia now looking at hardest charger. Scornsey takes fastest lap. Galt Palmer trying to make it a 1-3 McLaren podium. VTech looking to take home the hardest charger, sitting with a nice little gap. He's got Sharia chasing, obviously with a position change between them. That would push VTech to 6th and Sharia to 6th. But Sharia has that penalty though. Nikki with a really good run here. And he's actually going to get Sharia. Sharia trying to get the position back, to breaking very late into turn 1, but just cannot get it done. And now Nikki potentially looking to try and get his teammate here. He's gotten back into the position where he started this race. Looking to try and get into 8th though. And here we go. Nikki with a really good run out of the final turn. His last go around to get Sharia. Can't quite get the same launch. Sees his teammate is blinking though. Doesn't have to be done this lap. Still chasing. It's the two AlphaTauris swinging through Sector 2. Closely followed by the two Williams. Oh, and Dusty Lusky actually gets Arrow. Or sorry, Arrow, other way around. Or what is going on here? Dusty has DRS. Arrow's in defense. That's all we know is going on into turn 1. Arrow trying to hold the inside line and actually gets a penalty from it all. And Dusty will collect the position. Now Arrow needs to be careful because he's got Scavney on the chase as well. Lancey and Sharia tussling it out here. Gunner and Bacon doing so as well. Race day puts us onto the final lap. And that'll smell one more chance for Nikki. Really needs to make this final turn count. Gets a pretty good exit. VTech swerving to try and break the toe. And Nikki not quite close enough here. Another mini DRS straight. but almost useless. No extra time to be given there. Bacon trying to get Lancey here as well. And he does. Bacon's up into 11th place. Edwin was just very close to Cali Rob. Will still hold 3rd place, getting himself back on the podium. Race Day with the win. Got Palmer 4th. Lusky 5th. Aero Racing will drop to 7th. Scavney up to 6th. Nikki and VTech. VTech maybe trying to give Nikki the position in the end there, but it'll be his. And the hardest charger as well. Impossible Bacon gets Sharia at the last little bit. Houdini and Hawksid to come over the line. And we will get on to the interviews. Oops, I ended that way too quick. There we go, the final finishing order here. Okay, no interviews tonight then. Okay, race day. Cali Rob and Edwin at the podiums. Got Palmer, Lusky, Scavney, Aero Racing, VTech, Nikki, and Impossible Bacon with the top 10. Sharia, Lancey, Scornsey, Gunner, Houdini, Hawksid, all with finishes, and DNFs to Matt Rosie, Cake Thomas, and Shelly the Turtle. But yes, sorry, we've got to closed up here. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Impossible Bacon can't do an interview for his 100th Grand Prix, so we'll be bringing it to an abrupt end. Thank you, everyone that did tune in this evening. Hopefully you do tune in on the YouTube channel. Hopefully you have a good rest of your evening. Thank you once again for tuning into the Midwest F1 League. Check out the sponsors, Epos Gaming, Raise Energy, MWF1 at checkout, the Raise Energy store, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube. All go send out follows there. If you're watching on YouTube, go fuck yourself and go follow it on the Twitch page. Thank you very much. As per usual, I've been Crash McQueen, and it seems like as per usual, I've been joined by absolutely no one. And we've been in the Midwest F1 League. Have a good night and a good weekend, too. Bye-bye.